Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com. Today, to do another showdown. Showdown! We're gonna shoot out the Gillette sensor versus the Gillette Super Speed. Let's get started. Okay, we are all lathered up with my new 2019 go-to Taylor of Old Bond Street Sandalwood, classic scent, great performance, it lathers up like a dream. We're gonna get loaded up with a Paul Silver blade into a revamped Gillette Super Speed. This is just done in our factory nickel finish, as we call it. Just load that bad boy up. Good to go. Now the Gillette Super Speed came out mid 40s. It was their dollar model. It was it wasn't the lowest end, that was a tech, but it was definitely kind of their, second to lowest model, I guess you could say. Now, in comparison for our showdown today, we're gonna use the Gillette sensor. Now the sensor I remember as a teenager in early 20s using doesn't exist in the same form anymore. Now it kind of has taken the form of a Good News-esque razor. It's a disposable, 2 blades, no aloe strip. And we're gonna see how these guys compare. So I'm gonna start off as a point of reference with a Super Speed that I had some experience using. Skin stretching. Comfortable, easy, resistance-free. I know what everyone's gonna say. Matt, you rinse so much. You're always rinsing. I love rinsing. I tell you this, especially with review videos. I wanna make sure that I don't have a clogged razor head that influences my thoughts. So that was really nice. Very close, very smooth, effortless, no resistance. Now the sensor. Okay. It's definitely pulling a little bit more. It is not horrible. The number one sensation is tugging. Fairly equivalent result. You just get 2 wet fingers, so they're both slick. Yeah. The sensor may be a tiny bit closer, honestly. But the Super Speed is so much more comfortable to use. It's heavier, the weight of the razor is doing the work, and it's not getting stuck on my beard and kind of dragging. That could be the weight. It could be the fact that there's only 1 blade, not 2. But just mowing down the hair. And I have about, I think 3, maybe 4 days of growth. It's kind of funny, guys. I end up shaving with you more than I do at home. I'm here and it seems like I shave at work a lot now. but it's enjoyable. Very happy that the Paul Silver blades are back. know, that's the other thing. I am using a Paul Silver blade that had, I think, 1 or 2 shaves on it to begin with. Just for apples to apples, I'm gonna bust out a brand new one, because sometimes, you know, you guys know, a brand new blade performs differently than a blade that has, you know, 1 or 2 shaves. And usually we just do 1 or 2 shaves and call it good. So I'm putting a brand new one in, and we're really gonna compare now. Okay. Definitely a little smoother. Ah, a little closer too. So the other major thing I'm kind of noticing, yeah, is that I'm having to do the push. I gotta push a lot harder to really get the same effect. I can't just kind of effortlessly do this. That's what I do with the super speed. I kind of just go. This I really gotta push in and pull down. And that is not good form. However, if I do some short strokes, that kind of helps. It's not bad. Again, I've been using several of the Gillette razors now, the Fusion, the Mach 3, now the Sensor. I would say this is, I still think the Mach 3 was more comfortable than this, but it's definitely very similar. So the other major thing I'm kind of starting to think about here is, do I want to shave my neck with this? You know, my neck is the reason you guys know me. It's because my neck is a trouble area for me. And the last thing I want is a crop of ingrowns. You know, I do so much experimenting with razors, and I can't always go to my preferred choice. A lot of times I'm doing a shootout or something, and last thing I want to do is get a big crop of ingrowns. Ugh. So I am reaching for the trusty DE. And again, it's not that the sensor is not close. So I mean, how do you measure a shave? Is it just closeness? Because if you do too close of a shave, you can get an ingrown hair. Is it comfort? For me, it's comfort, and then it's the result on the day after. Like you can have a great looking shave, even the double edge that you're not familiar with, or maybe a feather blade or something really sharp or aggressive, and then you're like, ah, that was good. Look how smooth I am. The next day you're like, oh gosh, raw feeling, stinging, irritation, ingrowns, razor rash, all the above. So that's why sometimes I go for par, because I know myself and I know that I can chase that BBS, but what is it going to come at the cost of? So I'm saying the Sensor is a good razor if you want something quick and cheap. And I don't think there's going to be a long-term relationship with it. I'm looking at it; it's already full of a bunch of gunk. Let's take it to my goatee area. Real thick, real coarse. So this was, I think, like $10 or so for 12 of them. I'm sure they may vary slightly based off of what region you're in and, you know, whatever. But It's certainly cheaper than a double-edged razor. But if you have to keep on buying them again and again and again, I'm sure you guys can do the math that after maybe 2 or 3 years of doing that, you've already bought a double edge. Now, truth be told, the regular super speed for me has never been a favorite razor. I always tell people it's a classic razor. I say it's a great beginning razor. I do fit into the old Gillette model of, you know, coarse beard, you know, heavy beard. I like the red tip super speed better than the, you know, flare tip or the 40s style like this. But if you're getting started, it's a wonderful place to begin. And if I wanted to dial this up, I could put a feather blade in it or something more aggressive than a Paul Silver. And I think the number one feature I love about double edge is this. You can take the blade out, you can clean it off, put it back in, and move on with your life. And my wife loves that as well. She's a nurse, and I remember the first time she, you know, saw this whole double edge thing, she thought that was the coolest thing from a kind of a germaphobe kind of perspective, that no one likes to see a cartridge razor after 2 or 3 weeks of usage. It's not pretty. She loved that you could open them up, clean it, put a brand new blade, move on. That's one big benefit. I just also love, I say this every time, and for my long-term viewers who watch every video, I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but a lot of the guys who come here, this is their first time seeing our channel, so I have to say some things again and again. You get to customize your shave. If I don't like this blade, I can try a different blade. It's like a new razor now. It's not, I can't do anything with this. It's either pass or fail. I can edit this, modify this, you know, make it tailored to my needs. And that's why wet shaving is so cool. Okay, pretty good shave. I would have loved if it was a red tip versus a sensor, but I was trying to stick with kind of the models of Gillette of, you know, currently on the market. Their good news, or sorry, their sensor is second from the bottom, and in the 1940s, the super speed was also second from the bottom. I have made an utter mess of my face trying to rinse and clean it off. Let's just bring out the old towel here. I could have shaved my neck with it. I was just leery because I've done a couple of these other cartridge review videos, the Showdowns, and then like the next day or 2 days later I have 2 or 3 ingrown hairs from that side of my face, and I just didn't want to deal with that. I think that if you have sensitive skin or prone to ingrown hairs, curly hair, a single blade, whether it's a double edge razor or a single edge razor or a shavette or a straight razor, is definitely the way to go. And that's not just me saying that. You can actually ask a dermatologist that they'll recommend a single blade if you are someone who suffers from ingrown hairs. If you are the kind of guy that can shave with a rusty piece of glass, like my brother, then you're probably going to say, oh, who cares? These are cheap, and I can just throw them away when I'm done. And that's really cool. And I envy you. I really do. For a lot of other guys out there, myself included, shaving is something that you want to have fun with, yes, but you also want to look your best. And you have to find the products that work for you. And for me, it just so happens to be double-edge razors. Primarily. I mean, I do straight razor shaving and single edge shaving, but mostly double edge. And anyone who says that it's too time consuming or it's too elaborate or it's too whatever, get over it. Just like sleeping, you end up spending a lot of time shaving. If you think about it, if you shave every day or every other day your whole life from age 18 to 75 or whatever, you spend a lot of time in front of the mirror. You spend a lot of time doing it. You might as well enjoy it. I mean, that same argument, that'd be like saying, well, what's the difference with eating? You can just eat fast food every day, get it done quick, cheap, easy, fast. It's like, well, no, I want to enjoy my food. I want to have quality food that is good for me. And this razor, and many like it, make my skin and my beard feel the best. And I've been doing double edge for 15 years now, and there's no going back. I'm sold, and I'm trying to spread that message to you guys. So, I hope this shows you to ditch the cartridge and pick up a quality razor. Well, this is a vintage one. I mean, you could pick up any double edge. And with some experimentation, I think you're going to have a great result. I don't know many guys who have gone double edge and then just like give it up. Just doesn't happen. If you know anyone that has tried double edge razors and given it, a couple of weeks and then said, no, I'm going back to cartridges, tell me about it, because I think it's unheard of. And if you do leave a comment, you are entered in to win this, the official Razor Emporium Black and Blue t-shirt. We want to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching our channel. The Super Speed came out on top. It's the winner! And that's all we have today. Sensor 2 versus the Super Speed. We'll see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving.